Hello viewers, welcome to my channel IIT Olympiad and AP Physics with Ambarish, and today I've brought another exciting challenge for all of you, and the title of the challenge is an endless lockdown. So what's the challenge? Let's straight away get to the challenge. A charged particle having a charge q and mass m is projected from origin along y-axis with a velocity v is equal to 2e upon b j cap in simultaneous presence of uniform electric field E I cap and a uniform magnetic field B K cap. Calculate the maximum and minimum y coordinates of the particle during the subsequent motion. So this is a twist on the standard problem. The standard problem, you just release a charged particle from the origin, but here instead of releasing it from rest, you have given it a velocity 2e by b. So in today's video we are going to learn a geometrical technique for solving this tricky problem. So for now, if you want, you can try this problem for 5 to 10 minutes and pause the video, and after that you can continue to the solution immediately after this. Alright, so let's get to the solution, and of course we can do it in a very complicated manner, solving the differential equation and all, which is the basics, which you can never go wrong with the basics. But to quickly do this problem, we need to know certain facts, and I'm going to present to you some very important facts that you need to know for solving this problem. What are those facts? The first fact is that for all charged particles projected in mutually perpendicular E and B, and the component of velocity along B, if it is 0, in mutually perpendicular E and B, the path is represented by a point on a pure rolling cylinder. There are three types of possible paths. Of course, you know that when it is released from rest, the path is a cycloid, and you're very much familiar with cycloid and rotational mechanics. So, but in other case, even when the velocity is non-zero, the path is a point which is related to a rolling cylinder. How is it that related to a rolling cylinder? Let's look at that. So, if the point is at the periphery of the rolling cylinder, you are very well aware that this is a cycloid. Now what happens if instead of the periphery of the rolling cylinder, the path is, let us say, a little bit outside the periphery? So you can see here that this point is outside the periphery, and now look at the path that it is tracing. So this is a self-intersecting path. So this type of path will be obtained when the point is outside the periphery, and it is called a superior trochoid. Okay, and then if the path is inside the periphery, what do you get? You get a path like this. So this is the kind of path that you get when the point is inside the periphery, and we call it inferior trochoid. So wherever you have a charged particle projected in crossed E and B fields, you get this type of trajectory. Okay, so this is the fact number one. And how do you get this? You can prove this using the conventional method, the same method that you used for proving the cycloidal path. Exactly the same differential equation method can be used for proving that every time the path will be a trochoid, either a cycloid is called a common trochoid, so common trochoid, or superior trochoid, or an inferior trochoid. Okay, so these are the three types of paths that is possible for a charged particle. So this is the fact number one. What is the other fact that you should know? Now, guiding center, I've used this word guiding center. So when there's a rolling cylinder, the speed of the center of this rolling cylinder, we are referring to as guiding center. So the speed of the guiding center is given by V guiding center is E upon B. That's always the case with this type of projections. The guiding center velocity is E by B, and the direction of motion of the guiding center is E cross B. Okay, and the angular velocity of the cylinder is given by QB by M, and the radius of the cylinder is given by Vg by omega, that is Me upon QB square. So you can keep this in mind. I'm going to use this equation on the next slide, that the radius is Me upon QB square, and of course that is Vg by omega. You know that from rotational mechanics, due to pure rolling this equation holds. And this, you know, in the standard motion also, omega is QB by M in the standard problem also. So these things hold even with the standard problem, that is when you release from origin. Vg is E by B, E cross B is the direction of rolling, and omega is QB by M, and the radius of the rolling cylinder is Me by QB square. So now we are going to use these facts for quickly solving the problem at hand. Now for the current problem, what do we have? So the projection from the ground frame is the velocity of projection is 2e by b vertically upwards, which means what? So that means, you know, that velocity So instantaneous axis must be perpendicular to the velocity. So instantaneous axis of rotation of the cylinder must be somewhere along the perpendicular to this green line, somewhere on this line, that the instantaneous axis will be there. So we'll try to locate the instantaneous axis exactly using the facts that we presented. So initial velocity projection from ground frame is upwards, and the velocity of the guiding center, as I told you, is E by B in this direction. So what's the velocity relative to the guiding center? So we can just subtract the velocity of this particle with respect to guiding center. If you subtract, you get this type of diagram. So negative of guiding center velocity comes here, and this is your resultant, subtraction of Vp minus Vg, that is root 5 Vg. Why? Because this is 2E by B and this is E by B. You square, so 2 square plus 1 square is 5, and you take the under root, this becomes root 5 times the velocity of the guiding center. So what can we say? So instantaneous axis should lie on the perpendicular to the green arrow, and the center of the circle should lie on perpendicular to the VPG, because if there's a rotating rigid body, then the velocity of any particle is perpendicular to the radius vector. Okay, so that means what? The center should be perpendicular to this, on a line perpendicular to this VPG, so somewhere over here. So that means what? Guiding center should be at some distance over here on the perpendicular to the arrow. And of course, since instantaneous axis is going to lie on the extension of the red arrow, so that means what? Instantaneous axis should be somewhere over here. Okay, so now let me complete the figure. So this is the kind of geometry that we'll use for explaining. So this must be your guiding center location at the initial moment, okay, because this is the perpendicular and this is the on this you have to draw a perpendicular, because instantaneous axis is going to lie on this line. Okay, so now it's very simple. So we can find out the value of L and R very simply. So R we calculated on the previous slide, that was ME by QB square. And what should be the value of L? So you know that this is root 5 Vg, and this is rotating with some omega. So that means what? This will be root 5 ME by QB square. Why? Because Vg by omega is this, and this number is just root 5 times the previous number. So this is your L. And now you can see this particle is rotating about this center, and you can draw a bigger circle of radius L, and this is small circle of radius R. So what will be the highest point? So you know that if you just rotate the circle of radius L, this is the Y max and this is the Y min, and you can very clearly see that this distance below the X axis is magnitude is L minus R, and this distance from X axis to the Y max, that is L plus R. So that's what we were supposed to evaluate. So let me just present the equation. So Y max simply becomes R plus L, that is root 5 plus 1 ME by QB square, and Y minimum becomes minus L plus R, because it's on the downward direction. Okay, so that's our final answer. Hope all of you liked this video, and if you did like this video, please subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up, and please share this video with all your friends, whoever might find it relevant for their IIT JEE or Olympiad preparation. And I want to acknowledge each one of you for supporting my channel and watching this video, and see you again in the next video. Thank you very much.